Welcome back, everybody, to another session of the Monday Huddle on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll be right back with this week's Monday Huddle topic. But as always, we're going to give a shout out to our sponsors. Now, if you're new to the podcast, we do this every episode. Sponsors I have are all companies that I used as an athletic director, and they're all great companies. You should be using them too. So take 3 minutes, listen to our shout outs, then listen to our Monday Huddle, then go and visit these sponsors. I'm telling you, you're going to be glad you did. Here we go. We want to say thanks to our good friends at Vital Signs Wall of Fame. If you're looking for a really cool way to display your school record boards for all the teams, for all the different events, or show off your school's Hall of Fame, go to their website and take a look at their interactive touchscreen video consoles. You put one of their units in your gym lobby or your main school hallway, it's going to be like a magnet for kids, for coaches. How about sponsors and parents? Check out vitalsignswalloffame.com. You're going to be glad you did. We also want to say thank you to Gipper. Go to Gipper.com and let their team help you become a social media marketing guru. The templates that they have allow you to post simple social media shout outs for a big game victory or an entire newsletter that showcases all the great stuff that your athletic department is doing. They're branded with colors, with your mascot. You really got to see it to believe it. Go to Gipper.com. Don't forget to mention the podcast and let them help you take your social media presence from good to great. We also want to thank our friends at Hometown. Hometown is changing the game for schools and organizations with their solutions around online ticketing. They're still the number one digital ticketing provider. But how about fee-free fundraising, athletic website construction, and a whole lot more? Whether you're a principal or an athletic director, Hometown's going to show you how to save time, raise more money, and bring your entire community together. Go to hometown.com for more information. We'd also like to thank Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables, and video boards. Go to their website, and you can schedule a live web demo to see their products in action. You've heard me say before, probably one of the best purchases I ever made was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. Check out their great products today. We'd also like to say thank you to Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but as an athletic director, I made sure our school was a Huddle school. Our coaches, our student athletes, even our parents just love the tools that the Huddle platform provides. Go to huddle.com, join the 8 million users, and find out how to turn your school into a Huddle school. We'd also like to say thanks to Snap Mobile, particularly Snap Raise. If you've ever spent weeks and weeks with a fundraiser and been disappointed, those days are gone. Go to snapraise.com and find out all the ways that they can help your program. We used it at our school, tremendous success, and so will you. They've got a lot of other great platforms, but if you're looking for a fundraiser, you just found it, and it's Snap Raise. We'd like to say thank you to Athletic Surveys. If you've never used a survey to take the pulse of your student athletes, your coaches, especially your parents, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that allows you to hear from everybody, not just the squeaky wheel parents you already hear from, but the 98% that supports your program. And having that type of data is incredibly valuable, especially when you're visiting with one of those frustrated parents, maybe your principal or even your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com. Don't forget to mention the podcast, athleticsurveys.com. We'd like to thank Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. Now, I didn't get my master's from Ohio, but my assistant AD did, along with thousands of others, and it was a great experience. Check out Ohio University and their online master's degree. And here's another cool thing. While you're earning your master's, you're also completing 11 NIAAA leadership training courses at no extra charge. Check out Ohio University and their online master's in athletic administration. And finally, we'd like to thank Home Campus. Home Campus is the official high school sports administration platform for a number of states, thousands of ADs, And even if your state has a different platform, you can still be a home campus school. I'm telling you, their athletic clearance and eligibility platform alone is a game changer. Go to homecampus.com for more information. And as always, don't forget to mention the podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to segment number 7 of the Monday Huddle series. Our first 5 segments dealt with parent concerns that athletic directors typically come upon. Our next series of 5 is going to focus on some student athlete concerns that coaches and ADs can hopefully help with. Last week, we kicked off our student section with a Monday huddle on performance anxiety, or the other side, playing with confidence. This week, we're going to talk about athlete identity and helping athletes understand that they are more than just a jersey. Now, if you ask a student athlete, tell me about yourself, about 9 times out of 10, the answer is probably going to start with, I play football or I'm on the volleyball team. That's not wrong, but it's really incomplete. When a student's entire a sense of self, is tied to athletic performance, it can create long-term emotional challenges, emotional fragility, and especially when things like setbacks or injuries or transitions hit. Today, we're going to talk about how coaches, athletic directors, even parents can help athletes build an identity, their identity, that extends beyond the scoreboard. Now, this appears to be something that's fairly recent. 100 years ago, when I was a high school athlete, even a college athlete, there just wasn't this awareness or this worry about, well, gosh, my career's over. What do we do? A 2020 study from the University of South Carolina found that student athletes who define themselves solely by their sport are significantly more likely to suffer depressive symptoms when faced with injury, the end of their career, athletic retirement, or deselection. They didn't get picked for a team. And why is that? Because this who am I question suddenly becomes terrifying if the only answer has been, well, I'm an athlete. Now, the problem isn't loving the sport. It's only loving yourself when you're playing that sport and typically playing it well. Now, there's things that we've seen become triggers for this type of feeling in a student athlete. One, as I already mentioned, injury or surgery. When they're suddenly sidelined, the athlete might question their value. For seniors, their last season is ending, and it can be a what now? A very real or frightening question. Also, we mentioned roster cuts or failure to advance. For some student athletes, without another source of identity, that rejection, oh, I'm no longer an athlete, can cut a little bit deeper. And we don't want to forget about the impact of college recruiting for some kids. If a student doesn't get signed, doesn't get that offer, sometimes they can feel like their athletic journey was meaningless because that was the only metric that they ever focused on, or again, in some cases, their parents only focused on. What we want to try to do as coaches, as ADs, as leaders, is build whole person student athletes. As the adults, we can help athletes broaden their identity by encourage them to have multiple roles. We should challenge and encourage, even push athletes to explore leadership opportunities in clubs, school musicals, student council, even volunteer programs. By becoming multidimensional, this is going to strengthen their own confidence and help reduce the emotional risk of, feeling like, oh, my athletic career's over. What am I going to do? Reflection time. Research has substantiated this over and over again. Have athletes write journals, hopefully at least once a week, with entries that talk about what did I do this week that made me proud, but had nothing to do with their sport participation. And ask them to look at the future. Who are you becoming? Try to get them to visualize life beyond athletics. We're not trying to forget about athletics, but as we all know the statistics, only 6% or less are going to go on to college. Even fewer than that go on to the pros. So enjoy the athletic journey, enjoy the experience, celebrate. But life does go on, and we need to help prepare our kids for that life. We'll share this with our coaches. We ask them to include 4 to 5 minutes during their team talks at least once a month to focus on life beyond sport. Recruiters aren't just looking for stat lines, they're also looking for kids of character. I'm reminded of the 6A basketball player who joined the chess club, mostly as a joke with his buddy. But by his senior year, he was ranked among the state's top chess players. And when he was asked how he balanced both activities, he kind of laughed and said, well, it turns out thinking 3 to 4 steps ahead helps me in both games. So you're saying, what's the point? You never know what else you're going to be good at until you try. Let's encourage our kids to try different activities. And we don't want to forget the mental health connection. The NCAA Mental Health Task Force reports that student athletes with diverse social identities, meaning they participate in more than one sport or activity, have far better coping mechanisms and are less likely to experience crisis than single athlete student athletes. Okay? Helping students separate their athletic performance from their own personhood is not just a philosophical exercise, it's preventative care. Now, what else can the school do? Things like highlighting the whole student. Use your social media to recognize achievements off the field, band, vocal competitions, academic awards, community acts of kindness. Use strong self-language, maybe from saying things like, you're the beast. How about, you're growing into a strong leader. I really love what you did in that leadership situation. Athletic directors can help too. Captains can help. Host an athlete futures night where you can have former students come in and talk about their life after sports. I know one school that even created more than an athlete week where athletes shared fun facts during the morning announcements. Hi, I'm Julie from girls soccer, and I play the piano. Okay, and the list is endless about how you can create that at your school. Frequently remind and encourage your athletes to let them know you're not just your stat line. You're not just your last game. You are not a one-loss record. You're a leader. You're a learner. You're a great teammate, a friend. Your jersey is just part of the story. It's not the headline. When we help athletes know who they are beyond the game, they can play with more confidence, with more freedom. They can become better leaders. When they know their playing days are nearing an end, they can also walk forward, not wondering who they are, but knowing exactly who they've been becoming all along. Thanks for listening to the Monday Huddle on the Educational AD. And if you found this episode helpful, please share it with another sports parent or coach or AD who could use the reminder. And as always, keep showing up, keep supporting, and keep growing our great game. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time on the Monday Huddle on the Educational AD Podcast. And before we go, of course, we want to give one more shout out to all of our great sponsors. We want to say thanks to Home Campus. We want to thank Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. We'd like to say thanks to Sideline Interactive indoor score tables and video boards. We want to say thanks to Hometown. Go to hometown.com for more information. We want to thank Gipper. Turn your school into a social media marketing mecca. Go to Gipper.com. Vital Signs Wall of Fame, if you're looking for a really cool way to display your school record boards. Snap Raise, go to snapraise.com. Huddle, used as a football coach, as a school, we were a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com. And Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. One more time, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.